Hi, everybody. See, we've already had check-ins from Chewy, RLC Aquatics. Who else has been here? That's what I see so far. Chewy Limited, RLC Aquatics. Hi, everybody. As you get in, it's going to be great seeing you all. Let's see here. Today is Bolo's birthday. So Bolo's having a good birthday today. So welcome to the live stream. And feel free to hit like, helps share everything, allow everybody to be involved. And we want to get to talking a little bit. Hey, Scott and Liz, King and Queen Cichlids in the house. So the best local fish stores are an hour away from where I'm at, and I haven't hit them all yet. My LFS is not that great. And hey, Scott, well, good. One of you is good, always good. So my LFS, it doesn't have a lot to offer. They go to order me fish, but that's really been sort of a mixed bag. So I'm almost ordering all my fish now from Aquabid. In fact, I have a unboxing coming up on Wednesday with an order I got from Aquabid, and it went smooth. It went happy. It went really, really well. I've ordered now a few times off of Aquabid, and it's been great. eBay, for the most part, I've not ordered fish off of eBay, but I've ordered plants and stuff. And except a couple of times, I've had bad things. Like I ordered some hornwort because my original hornwort came. It was just like unbelievably small, and the description was right, but the person should have put a couple more sprigs in there, for the effort and everything. So I ordered from someone else, same price, 10 6-inch things, and it was supposed to be here a week ago. As of today, it hasn't been. I've sent the person like 2 or 3 notes just saying, hey, has it been shipped? Never heard back. So I had to give that person a 1 star on everything, except for shipping, because shipping was free. So that was nice. And RLC Aquatics is the same thing. Now, I've gotten a lot of equipment. There's one person's called CLL, something or another, aquarium stuff, CLL. And I've ordered like air pumps, air hose. I've ordered sponge filters from this vendor. Always quick, always good. So it is what it is. Now, an update, I got guppies a couple of weeks back, guess about 2.5 weeks back, and I had my first drop yesterday, which was good, and a bunch of them, so that's nice. And these are swordtail guppies. They're very small. They're bigger than endlers, but they're not like deltas. They're not that big. So I count at least like 12 of them, so it's all good. Hey, what is up? What is up? QSA, Fail Rising. Is that you, Melvin? And yeah, I got Alan Bias IFGA standard guppies. Absolutely correct. That's where I got my swordtails from. Couldn't be more happy with them. They're terrific. They're gorgeous. I put out a video in the last week here where you get a little bit of B-roll of the swordtails before the fry showed up, and they look terrific. And today, Bolo, let me put the camera down on him. Bolo is 12. Happy birthday, Bolo. And I got him a toy. Let me just tell you something. He loves it. And Yep. Okay. Good. 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 Quantum Star Aquatics, my man Melvin. Um. So I don't know how much stuff you've purchased off of Aquabid. All I've done off of Aquabid is fish. I've not gotten plants. I've not gotten. I think I know what I'm doing plant wise for the Unica Splendens tank, and I'll probably order that either through Aquabid or through eBay today. After before I go to bed, and so that's real positive. I'm very excited about that. Um, Now off of Aquabid, how many of you guys and gals have purchased things off of Aquabid? Just out of a curiosity. It it is. I'll just tell you is that I have found every time I've gotten fish off of it. Scott's never purchased anything from Aquabid. Everything I've gotten off of it has been really good. You're going to see an unboxing on Wednesday with the new fish, and they arrived perfect. And they're doing really well. They've been in the aquarium now a couple of days, or about a day, and they look great. They're eating. They're happy. They're with the other fish. It was someone who obviously raised them, so I went for their polo. What? You hear that? What? Oh, I see what he did. He got his foot stuck between cushions. Yeah. And so, yeah, he makes noises. You ever see the movie Gremlins? Well, Bolo's sort of like the gremlin before you add water to him after midnight. And he makes funny noises. I just had dinner and hey, HC Agua, how are you doing, brother? Uh, HC Aqua, you're a gentleman, aren't you? You see, I'd be a sexist. So uh, so I was eating dinner at the dinner table, and I left him on the couch, and it was. I'm going to tell you, he was watching me like a hawk. I got up to put the dishes in the dishwasher, or on the dishwasher in the sink, so I have to clean them off. And he started to cry. So this is how spoiled my dog is. Yeah. So ordering things. Hey Jesse, what's up? Um, so the idea here is when you order stuff online, generally what you want to see, and this person didn't do it, but it arrived perfectly in time. You need to ship to your office. And I have a UPS. Since I moved to town, before I even had an address, I got an official address at the UPS store. So I shipped these to the UPS store, mainly because I was working early and the mail arrives middle of the afternoonish. And I didn't want to sit around the office waiting for people, so I wanted to go run some errands, get some lunch. And it arrived about 1:30, so I picked him up, got him home, and so it was all set up. Now these people shipped out on Wednesday. It was a 2-day ship, and it was perfect. The overnight shift, which makes a lot of sense for a lot of different things you may do. The overnight shift, there's some, for instance, if you order from Stephen Quartler and some of the guppy guys, and I'm sure it is with some cichlid guys or gals or what have you, they really want to do it overnight. And so when I got fish from Stephen Quartler of Championship Guppies, it was overnight, and it was like a $45 ship. I ordered these fish and the Allen Bias that both did 2 days, and it's and they arrived just fine, and the shipping was like $11. So, United States Postal Service priority. So Bolo's now sitting over on my right, laying out like like a good older dog should. Um, and so the process. Now you got guppies from a guy who wrote a book about guppy genetics. Who was that, Chewy? Yeah, and Melvin did change his name again. I've read a couple of different books on guppy genetics, and I hate to tell you this, yet ordering from uh, ordering from Get Kills. I haven't done that yet, mainly because I've looked. Oh, Philip Shattuck. Yeah, I have one of those books, and that may be by him. Um, I love the idea of genetics, going through that. I've read a couple of these books into guppy genetics, and they get a little too far into the weeds for me. It's more theoretical. Hey, Twin City Guppies in the house. Is this King or King's brother-in-law? How you guys doing? So we're just talking about I ordered sword-tailed guppies. Hey, King, great having you here. Um, and by the way, I'm a Twin Cities boy. Go Vikings, school. Go Twins. Even though that Pineda got suspended for 60 games because he used the wrong type of supplement. And by the way, that happens all the time in pro athletics. You got to go to your trainer, and it's a nightmare. But I still think the Twins have a shot to win it all. By the way, I am drinking a delicious diet Sprite and taking my life in my own hands, because apparently drinking diet fizzy drinks will kill you immediately. 25% more likely to croak. So maybe I have to cut down on it. So my man, going through these guppies I got from Alan Bias, he sent me a trio and an extra pair. And the trio, they've dropped fry. The pair have not dropped fry yet. I've got it really, really hooked up. Yeah, I'm going to stop after one cup, Scott. One cup of Diet Sprite for me. I only have, I'll tell you about the booze I have in the house. And I had a brain aneurysm 11 years ago. So it will be the 11-year anniversary of my brain aneurysm coming up here in a few days. And because of medication they put me on, I stopped drinking. I was not a big drinker, but I like to have an occasional beer and occasional shot of tequila, wine. I was not a big drinker though. I probably about 5 drinks a week. Just occasionally with dinner. So I stopped, and I was having profound headaches following the surgery, and they had me on medication that you couldn't use alcohol with. And so, hey Victor, you're in the house. What's up? So be stag, baby. So so I went, for about 10 years, and I had, let's see, a half a glass of champagne, a couple of sips of beer. I would order my ex-wife a beer. The one thing that she was great at, the gnarlier the beer, the better she liked it. So if it was a lager with bite, if it was a Guinness, if it was a German beer, if it was a Leinenkugeln, a dark beer, she was all in. So I would order the beer and have a sip of it. And, so I'm off the. I've sort of over the last couple of years, actually after 3 years, began to get myself off of some of the meds. And one of the meds you hear all sorts of crazy stuff about. Uh, it, it quote unquote was addictive. I was on it for a number of years through the doctor, never abused my thing, and I ended up just quitting on my own over about a 3-day period. Now I just take Tylenol. So I started eliminating different medications. The only medication I didn't eliminate was I'm on a medication that keeps my blood pressure artificially low. My blood pressure is fine. In fact, they take me off the medicine for a few days to do a heart test. Everything's fine. So I and the blood pressure medicine I'm on is, for lack of a better, it's an anti-migraine medicine. So occasionally I'll have a drink right before dinner, the beer, and by the time I take that medication at bedtime, 9:30 or so, um, I'm all cleared out. And I don't do that all the time. I had a beer yesterday. I have, of all things, I have some. I have tequila in the house, and good tequila. So Jose Cuervo Tradicional, not traditional, Tradicional with 2 C's in the middle. It's not that expensive, and it's better than Patron. It's better than Cabo Wabo. It's better than some more expensive tequilas. And if you're in Mexico City, and anywhere in Mexico, and you go to a nice restaurant, when I mean a nice restaurant, white tablecloths, linens, um, they have they have fridges on top of the bar, and they have Jose Cuervo Tradicional. It's a nice sipping tequila. You really don't want to use it as a margarita tequila. It's just mainly just a sipper. So I'll pour myself a shot of one of those every once in a while and kick back and enjoy it. And yeah, Clemson beat A&M 24-10, covered the spread. And I was wearing my Clemson shirt the other I don't know, maybe a live stream or two ago. And I've lived all over the country. I've lived in New York, actually, suburban New York City, Hackensack, New Jersey. I lived in Sacramento, San Francisco, Huntsville, Alabama, Minneapolis. Of course, I'm a Minnesota boy. I've lived in Huntsville, Alabama, Greenville, South Carolina, close to Clemson, and I've lived in San Antonio, Texas, Little Rock, Arkansas, and where I am right now, Joplin, Missouri. And I really enjoy. So I've been through. I've seen a lot of different places, and so that's the cool thing. Hey, by the way, I don't think any of you guys. I have done. I want to bring back, now that I'm back doing videos and doing all that. I want to bring back Meet a Fish Tuber, and I would really like to have you guys. Every one of you, I'd love to feature you on it. And all I need is you giving me a video, 2-3 minutes. If it's 4 minutes, I'm not going to complain, but a relatively short video telling me about your channel. And I introduce you, I go through it, I put a link to your channel, and hopefully it helps promote it. And I would love to promote every one of you. Anyone who does it, I want to promote. So that's sort of the deal. Through my page, if you hit the About button, you can go and click on there. I've had a lot of people on, Susan from SLC Aquatics. I've had Dee from Down the Wormhole. I've had Michael's Fish Room. I've had a bunch of different people, and I'd like to have all of you guys as well. So that's what goes through. Now, I will say this about having emergency brain surgery, sort of like a heart attack, sort of like a thing that go through. Well, it'd be great to do it for you, Scott. I would love to do it for you. So let's Chewy, I don't care that your channel's different. I don't care. Hey, Daryl Deemer, you're in the house. What's up? I don't care if you're. I put on the two guys from Canada who are stoned off their gourd, and they were so high on weed. I don't care. I'll put you on. Tripping, tipsy, whatever those guys are. Watch the video after this on onto the Meet the Fish tuber deal. They are. I mean, when I mean nuts, I'm saying that in the best way possible. They are so much fun, but they were stoned off their gourds, absolutely lit. But they're cannabis experts, and they love to care for their fish. They have an aquarium with a ball of shark. So I don't care what's on your channel. Well, yeah, if you don't have any fish stuff on, it's like all porn. Yeah, I'm not doing that. But I want to talk about your fish room, and I want to talk all about that stuff. So I want you, yes, you, involved. So you're invited to reach out to me. We'll hook you up, and I'll smuggle you sort of the directions. And but you basically got it from me. Send it to me on an MP4 thing, and just go on from there. And I would love to feature every one of you. So please, please, please. So, all right, Bolo's moving over to the other side now. Again, for those of you who did not see, Bolo's having a birthday today. He is 12. Right, Bolo? You 12? All right. Yeah, he, as you can tell, amazingly spoiled. Amazingly spoiled. So it's I was literally just I put up on my Facebook page, and feel free to to request to be a Facebook friend. It's Peter Wilkinson Thiel, T as in Thomas, Hiele. I'm a friend of Melvin. I'm a Facebook friend of Scott, Tama TM Aquatics. So I have a bunch of folks here. So I'd love to have you guys as my Facebook friend. You'll have to put up with my opinions on politics every once in a while. But if you disagree, don't worry. I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't bother me that if you think differently. Think the way you want. Other than that, let's see here. Yeah. So shipping through Aquabid. The one thing you do need to have before you do it is a PayPal account. And it's Bolo's a Pomeranian. He was a gift to my ex-wife from her sister, and he's a show dog. Except right at the point where I really should have been showing him, it was when I had my brain aneurysm. So he only got shown a few times. He was at the Aquaballs. What's up? He showed at the National Dog Show, the one that you see on NBC on Thanksgiving Day. And he was in his class, open dogs. He got third. He did pretty well, but it's just I was really not feeling well at this point. And this is actually just a few months after. Oh, Bolo wants to get down to drink some water. Hold on. There you go. He doesn't jump up and down. In fact, I really don't want him. I have linoleum floors in my place, and if it was carpet, I wouldn't feel as bad. But he's old, and so it all works out. So yeah, so he's so this is how nuts this is, and I think I've told this before on the live stream, so I apologize. To get a female Pomeranian from a breeder that has good Pomeranians, which, by the way, will be cheaper than the Pomeranian I saw at a pet store today. Okay? And the father, the sire of the litter that's being born right around in the next couple of weeks, it's going to be ready around Christmas time. The sire is in a top 10 show Pomeranian in the country. So because of Bolo's age, I'm getting his semen frozen, and I've got to actually do that in the next week here. And so then I'm getting the female puppy around Christmas, I'm guessing, and I'm gonna have to like drive to Wisconsin and back. And I'm on a new job. I have no vacation for a couple of months, so I'm gonna have to like leave at like 4 p.m. on Friday, arrive in Wisconsin on Saturday, pick up the dog, puppy, turn around, and drive back, and hopefully not run into too much snow. And well, that's good that your guppies are doing well, HC Aqua. I'm waiting. Hey, New England Endler, how are you? Welcome to the live stream. Hey, folks, 10 likes is unbelievable. Thank you so much. Feel free to like if you haven't done that. I would really appreciate that. Helps the channel grow. Tomorrow we have an unboxing from Chewy.com, not Chewy Limited, not our Chewy who's here, from Chewy.com. And I'll tell you, I ended up wanting to buy, I'm getting Amica Splendens, and I, unfortunately, my LFS, I even went to Petland and PetSmart. Nobody had like a veggie flake, like a spirulina flake. So I went and checked out Super Cichlids. They were out. Now, I didn't get the spirulina flakes. I'm still hunting those down, but I'll get them. But I got a couple of different things for my plecos and catfish. That's on the video tomorrow. It's not a very long one. So, I think you'll enjoy it. And, hopefully you'll enjoy it. So other than that, that's what happened with that. So I'm pretty excited about that one. I've gotten stuff for my dog from Chewy, like his food, his treats, and stuff like that. And you out of here, Scott. Thanks a lot. Look forward to watching your live stream tomorrow. By the way, make sure you watch Scott's live stream tomorrow, King and Queen Cichlids. And by the way, if you guys have not subscribed to each other's channels, please do. Absolutely, please do. It's a good group of people we have here, and it's going from there. One of the things I'm mentioning a lot, and I hope I'm not too much of a pain in the butt over it. I like supporting the fish fam. And the one thing I always try to do is at least when I watch a video, I always like to hit the like button. And I usually comment as well, but not always. It's probably about 75% of the time I comment. Mainly because just out of time. Sometimes I'm watching things on the phone. It's just easier. And the reason to do that is that if you're a content creator, like Scott is, and Melvin is, and a lot of you, Kang is, and RLC, and if you're creating content on a regular basis, you want to know that people are watching it and that people are enjoying it. And whenever you can say, "Hey, thumbs up! Thanks for doing the video. I learned something. Great fish." Doesn't have to be a lot, but it gives people. It's good aqua balls that you hit the thing. IFGA meeting tomorrow. Which IFGA meeting club meeting are you part of, HC Agua? Are you Jersey? It's Hawaii. Hawaii. That's right. I knew you're Hawaii. I'm just I love watching. I've watched some videos with you and Kamuki Tanks. Is that how I pronounce that? That's a cool channel. I like watching his breeding projects. They're a lot of fun to watch. So what was I on? Liking and commenting on people's videos. Really important. Aqua balls, are you out of here? Oh no, he's around. RLC still around. That's good. And well, going to an IFGA meeting is always good. So there's one in St. Louis, which is about 5 hours from where I'm at, and they had their show, which I had to miss because there was something going on that same weekend for work, and it was something I couldn't get out of, and I had to be a part of it, and and it was in Branson, which was fun. Branson's a great town, but I didn't see the Japanese guy playing the fiddle. And I understand that guy's, that's the show you want to see. So, or go eat Paula Dean's food. Those are the two things to do in Branson. So I could have driven there and then driven up, you know, uh, first thing on Sunday morning, like left at 5 a.m., got there at 10 a.m., and been there to like 2 p.m. or so. But I was not really ready for aquariums either. But I want to do a meeting. So I've sent notes to the guy up there a couple of times. Never have heard. He wrote back to me once, and I haven't heard back from him again. So I want to go to the Gateway Guppy Club meeting and meet some great folks. Doug Gray, I'm waiting on him. He's got a trio of Roebuck Reds for me, and Gray D. That's a great channel, guys. If you love guppies, he's always trying to do different crosses and mixes. He's got top-notch show guppies, and he's going through the whole process of trying these different crosses, and he has like top notch. He's got the Luke Roebuck Reds, which is what I want to get from him. He has some amazing black Moscows. He's got some Asian lines that he's shipped in from Taiwan and Indonesia, and which are a lot of fun to look at. So that's kind of a fun channel to look at. What I want to do with the Roebuck Reds and the Swordtails is I want to come up with an all red Swordtail, sort of my play around with it. So that's sort of the goal. And they say when you do fish crosses and you're breeding for color and all that sort of stuff, and really you can breed for color in almost any type of fish, is that you have to have a plan. Here's the trait you're after. Here's what you're trying to do. And if you have that plan, you're in pretty good shape. I'm going to plug in my computer. Hold on a second. Realized it wasn't plugged in. Okay, there we go. Life is good. And so you have to have something you're shooting for. And sometimes you just don't get that. But I think that if you have a plan, you're in much better shape. Kamuki, is that how it's pronounced? HC Aqua. He did this thing where he did a cross between two separate guppies, and he was trying to add a feature to one of those lines of guppies. It was fascinating to watch, and he went through like 4 or 5 generations of it, and it was really, really cool to watch the process. And of course, he's in Hawaii, so he's summer tubbing all the time because you can summer tub all the time in Hawaii, which is really, really cool. Really, really cool all the way around. So that's sort of the goal that I have with that cross. So I'm looking forward to giving that a shot and seeing what I can do. I would also like to go for, hold on. Bolo. Bolo was asking, and as you can see, not spoiled at all. So it's You're having a frog problem, HC Agua? The frogs get into your tubs and eat your baby fish and eat your fish. It's I was in Hawaii for a week once on a trip from the office and won a contest. And oh gee, I'm sorry about the whole frog deal. Is there a way around it? So I was there and I was just amazed. I mean, no bugs. It was just beautiful. It was you know, you could sit there and say, I'll pay $30 for a thing of Tide if I'm going to be enjoying weather like this full time. So it's one of the companies I worked for had operations in Hawaii, and there were always kind of funny stories, primarily having to do with people disappearing to the beach in the afternoons. It's beautiful. It's paradise. How motivated can you be to work? I mean, it's just heaven. Do you know what? I knew that, Chewy, that there was an IFGA guppy club in Brazil. It's very cool. I think, by the way, that it's I'm looking forward to the going to the St. Louis thing. I can't make the end of the year show because I'm far from New England and I can't drive to it. And I'm making a big weekend trip because I have bought into. Now, don't think I have a lot of money because I'll tell you how I did it. I own a couple of shares in a couple of different racehorses, and I bought it through myracehorse.com. And I bought 2 shares for like $200 of one horse, and 1 share for $180, and of another horse, and they're both going to be running in Kentucky. Probably around one of them's gonna be running around October 1st. Hopefully on Saturday I'll drive up to see it. It's if and one of them will be at the beginning of October, and the other one I think is gonna be towards the end. And the filly's gonna make her first run. My colt this will be his 3rd race. His first 2, he did really well, and then fell off at the end. He just sort of ran out of energy. But they're both 2-year-olds, so it's they're still figuring some stuff out. So I'm going to go there. But yeah, driving to Boston, from Joplin, and not taking any vacation days, which I don't have any, that ain't going to work. But I can drive to St. Louis for that club meeting and stuff from there. If Kang Lee's still around, I don't think he is, but if he is, there really should be a guppy club. Hey, Daryl, thank you very much. I really appreciate you stopping by. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's I think that that the Twin Cities needs a guppy club, needs an IFGA guppy club in a big way, and there's enough people there who have guppies. And of course, Kang Lee, and then you have the Tamed Waters guy, and then you have all that sort of stuff. There's the infrastructure for an IFGA club in the Twin Cities. Just saying. And I will say this, and if you notice the areas that seem to have great fish clubs, a lot of fish activity, whether it be California, Seattle, Portland, it's the Twin Cities. If you notice that a lot of those places have a high population of folks of Asian heritage, and because a lot of those are water cultures, and they really appreciate fish and caring for fish. If you've seen some of these videos from these fish stores in China, they're nuts. And you look at all the great fish coming from Taiwan and Indonesia and stuff like that. Those cultures are all about keeping fish as pets, and it's a tremendous deal. And so I think a lot of fish cultures, turbo fish, what's up? What's up? And I think the deal is that Asian cultures, um, folks of that background, really love their fish more than anything else. And and the World Guppy Association, I've got to look that up and try to join. I'm just joining fish clubs. See you later, HC Agua. Hey Pam, what's up? Welcome to the live stream. We're having a great time. If, by the way, if you folks have not said hit like, please do. It's very helpful and helps expand the fish channel, which is which is all good. Again, I have an unboxing video coming out from Chewy.com, so you'll want to check that out. Diet Sprite, not tequila. And by the way, tequila and Sprite wouldn't work well together. It's the only booze I have in the house. I guess the other thing that is that going out and being involved. I like joining fish clubs mainly because I can learn from people. I can look up things that on YouTube, obviously, and read online all sorts of different stuff. But when you're in the room with people who have more experience than you, or people that keep a different type of fish, and you learn a lot from them. And I'm going to the Northwest. Let's see. My favorite strain of guppies. I love swordtails. I love them a lot. I had half black purples from Quartler that I gifted onto a buddy of mine in Little Rock when I had to move up here, and he said I can come down and pick some up from him, and maybe I will. I really enjoy. Oh, Chewy, you're a member of the Philippines Guppy Association. Okay, well maybe maybe I have to join the World Guppy Association, join up the Philippines and Indonesia and all that sort of stuff. And let's see, what did you buy, Aquaballs? I'm looking. All right, Turbo Fish, fellow IFGA guy. Oh, Balloon Rams. And yeah, I haven't seen those. So I'll have to look those up later on and check those out. So the other strain I really sort of want to get with guppies are black Moscows. And one of the things that's kind of neat about black Moscows is I've heard this from a number of people, so I think it's true. And I've seen, it's Doug Gray on his channel has it. All of a sudden, you get albinos from that strain, which is fascinating to me. And so the idea that you can, get albinos, and because I know people who've had black Moscows for several generations, and all of a sudden they're like 5 or 6 generations, and boom, they get like a couple of albinos. So that's pretty neat. And so, and I like the black Moscows, how they look. I just think I need to get a brighter color. That's why I'm going to do the red. And Quartler's half black AOCs, Chewy LTD was saying they're pretty strong. They're pretty strong indeed. and so I really enjoy those. Um, and he has the lavender AOCs, which is something he's quote unquote perfecting. They look fantastic, but he's perfecting. And because this is a guy, Stephen Quartler, if you've seen his webpage and you've seen, he does some videos occasionally, he's got probably 140 tanks, all fives and tens. And, and he lives in South Florida. And so he has like, his fish room is his garage. So it's good. Not all black Moscow strains throw albinos. You know, I just know a few people that got their fish in different places, black Moscows, and both two or three of these people that I know are 5-6 generations in, and then all of a sudden they get they get an albino again now and again. And I know they came out of supposedly out of Moscow. That's why they call them Moscows. And the fish the one that I'm surprised that you do not see that much of in the hobby, and they must exist, are the red Moscows. You see blue, green, purple, obviously black, and but you do not see. Bolo moved over to the other side, so I had to grab my mouse and put it over so he doesn't sit on it and take out the live stream, which is his want to do. Because he's, I think, a little upset that I'm not talking to him. He's pretty jealous, and yeah, it's just interesting. So I may do black Moscows at some point. There's a guy that's not too far from me who sells on Aquabid, and I've exchanged a couple of notes from him. I haven't gotten anything from him. It's he calls himself Chard, short I think for Richard. Chard 56. And he has a couple of unique he has black Moscows, and he has and I've never spoken with him. I've just emailed him back and forth. He's about an hour away from where I'm at. So, maybe I'll see if I can meet up with him. I'll drive down there. It's not a problem, and pick up some stuff. I'm kind of pumped. There's a fish auction coming up in about 1 month, and for the Northwest Arkansas Aquarium Society. And I'm looking forward to going there. I need to get some more Super Reds. I promised Michael of Michael's Fish Room when he has some available, I'll get a couple from him. And so your wife's making you buy a new, bigger tank, New England Angler. Good for you. That's good stuff. It's and for the wives, let's be honest here. Is that would you rather have your man spending money on fish or floozies? I think fish. Pretty good. Hey, Nola Jane, not Nola Jane. What's up? Fish Rich. All good. And yeah, so it's just a wife that wants you to buy more aquariums is all good. That is strong. Or a husband for the ladies that is all about buying more aquariums. The deal is that having a healthy hobby in the house is really an important thing. Having something to do with your spouse is really a good thing to do, a real positive thing. and realizing that one spouse usually has a bigger interest in it than the other. Um, I look at Scott and Liz, who both have keen interest in their fish hobby, which is really, really good. Scott seemed to be more interested in the video production, which is fantastic. But it's hey, it's okay. Lurk as you want. Hit like, and we'll be around for another 10 minutes or so. Does anyone know if Jeffro's fish keeping is going tonight? It's he had a late night live stream that I missed. I watched part of the replay this morning, and yeah, that's the deal. Scott and Liz are great king and queen cichlids. They're almost perfect, except they don't have guppies. And but we'll accept them. And by the way, they have arowana, and one of my fantasy aquariums, and it's probably something I'll never have. Oh, Liz has guppies. I didn't know that. I didn't know that, Julie. Well, that's fantastic. I love them even more. So, um, one of my fantasy aquariums is to do one of these. Is to do a couple of 1,000-gallon acrylic aquarium that has the bar that goes over the doorway where the fish can go back and forth, and put arowana in it, and a couple other, even those red, one of those red channel cat things from, red fin cat, the one that gets to be about a foot or 2 feet long, and so that's all good. That's all good. Um, and the idea of the fish going back and forth between the two large aquariums, I just love it a whole lot. So I've been waiting. I've been wanting to get some freshwater shrimp, and I don't know what color yet. I think it needs to be bright red. And I've been sort of looking at Lucas Brett's LRB Aquatics website, but he's out. And I would like to purchase from him because I'd like to support him. So I looked at his plants as well, and I just am not. He doesn't have what I'm after. So I'm desperate to buy something from Lucas. I sent a note. I got some celestial pearl danios for my nanofish, 55-gallon nanofish tank, and he's on the edge of having more. I have a dozen in there right now. I'd do a dozen more. Yeah, I have emailed Sarah, and I emailed her over the celestial pearl danio. So I'll email her again and find out what's going on there. And because I very much would love to get love to order some fish from him. And I've, for whatever reason, whenever I never catch him live on a live stream usually, primarily because Lucas does it late at night, and I'm like a chicken. It's and partially because of the dog here. I'm awake at he let me sleep in till 5:30 this morning. And I walked in and I got back in and I realized, I can't go back to sleep. So I just made up a pot of Joe and, did some stuff around the fish room, fed the baby fish and did all that sort of stuff. I didn't do a hatch of brine shrimp today. And, having fry, that's pretty important. But I do have some frozen Daphnia. So I did that first thing this morning. So I did that, and I have some North Fin fry food that I got from Super Cichlids. And so I fed them a couple of times with that. So that's very, very cool all the way around. I'm pretty happy about that. Let's see here. Michael Bruno has a channel on YouTube. Yeah, do you know what? I have seen his channel, Chewy. It's a good channel, and yeah, I've seen his stuff. Imperial Tropicals has some nice shrimp. I'll take a look there. All right, and you know, I'm guessing I'll go with reds and just to add more color. I have in that 55-gallon aquarium. I have not yet. I will sell stuff. RLC Aquatics. I'm just resetting up the thing. I'll have guppies for sale. Um, I'll have guppies for sale. In the next couple of months. I'm gonna have, it's these swordtail guppies are gonna be growing up, and I have, I counted at least 10 fry. There's a lot of guppy grass in that aquarium, so there may be as many as 20 for fry in there, 15, 20. And obviously there's going to be more fry drops, so there's just going to be a lot of fish. So so I'm going to have to sell some. I'm going to, I have this fish auction I'm going to in about a month. I may bring a little baggie with like 5, 6 fry in it just to auction off, just for grins. And Flip Aquatics does as well. I've looked there, Chewy, and I may do that from him. I've busted his chops on live streams. It's I've teased him a little bit. He was on talking about how he comes from a nowhere place in Ohio, and that the only restaurants they have are chains. And so I make comments to him about, hey, let's go to Applebee's. And if you ever saw Talladega Nights with Will Ferrell, that's where I got that from. Hey, Crystal, what's up? Great having you here. Hey, gang! Thanks so much for hitting the like button. We have 13 likes, 12 in there, but I think I can get a couple more likes if you would be so kind. And I really appreciate it. Thank you for hitting like on the channel and supporting what we're trying to do. So I have two videos coming out on Sunday and on Wednesday. Sundays and Wednesdays are my thing, and I think I'm going to do this time for my live stream every week. And I think this is a good time to do a live stream. And so I think I'll do that. I brought this up earlier. Wow, 15 likes. Thank you guys very much. I have done this thing called Meet a Fish Tuber, and I would love to do it on you. So it's and tell me about your fish tube channel. It doesn't necessarily have to all about fish, but just go on from there. And no, Chewy, we do have a lot of opportunities to get fish in the Estados Unidos. It depends if you're in Hawaii, it becomes a little more difficult. Obviously, you have to be careful when you ship stuff to Alaska. But I know Canada, it's kind of difficult to ship into Canada on some things. So unless you make the drive and you meet somebody, you drive down to Minneapolis and stop by King Lee's store and pick up some stuff from there, which I think would be pretty good. And go on and do that. I think the other thing is, as I get the fish from, I have, by the way, a couple of shrimp caves and no shrimp. So you would have thought that would have been the first thing. I even got shrimp food. I even have some shrimp food. So so it's crazy. The super reds are doing a great job of keeping this aquarium, nice and clean. I have to my nano fish tank. I'm enjoying it. Lots of fun. I don't quite have enough fish in there to have really good schooling behavior, but the celestial pearl danios. I have a question for you guys. I got these from my LFS ordered these for me, and I swear to you, they're like an eighth of an inch long. Do they get to like almost an inch as they grow up? Is that how long they get? I'm just curious. I'll order some more celestial pearl danios. I think they're amazing. And as these grow up and get better color, I'll go from there. That's the deal. So we're at 1 hour. Should I hang out a little bit longer? You guys make the call. I can hang out a little longer with you. And so, do you know what? I do not have any cichlids in the fish room right now, Chewy. I had in Little Rock at the Electric Blue Jack Dempsey's, and I really like those. I've done African cichlids before. I kept the guppies of the cichlid hobby, convicts, and bred them in a couple of different aquariums just for grins. And I remember trading a bunch of the fry and the adults to the LFS where I was living at the time, and got a couple of Oscars. No, actually, I traded a couple of Oscars for like 2 pair of cichlids. These Oscars were like 12 inches each, and I got them when they were real small. And my water parameters here are the pH is in the mid 7s. It's relatively hard water, so it's perfect for shrimp. And I don't remember the TDS off the top of my head, but everything else is high enough, so it should be fine. I'm more interested in the health of the water, making sure the nitrates and nitrites and all that sort of stuff is the ammonia isn't very high. And Shelley's. Oh God, just tell me how much that's a temptation to get. It's Shelley's. Getting like a 20 long and doing Shelley's in that's a real temptation. Those are really fun, real great behaving fish. Super red apistos are gorgeous. Discus, discus sort of like guppies. It is. There's so many great varieties. They're so gorgeous. The idea of I love the Julies as well. How do you pronounce that? Is it Morelli or Larry or whatever it is? I've had those. Those are great. And I've had the Bichardies. Great. The fairy the common aquarium hobby thing is the fairy cichlid. Those are great. I love those. I do those again. I do the Mulares again as well. In fact, I was thinking of doing that with the 55, and then I just said, let me just do a nano tank. When I buy a house next year, oh no, that's really cool, Chewy. That's really, really cool. And those are basically colony breeders, right? It's which is kind of a neat thing. They'll stay around for a long time. Those are great fish. When I buy my house, next my lease ends here on May 1st, so I would like to close on a house first week of April, and and of course buy new aquariums. So I want to put like a 75-gallon aquarium, another 55, and obviously for the guppies, I got to do another rack or two of 10s. So it's I'm single. I don't got a girlfriend. More fish aquariums. And so it's I've got Bolo and fish aquariums. By the way, Bolo's birthday today. Happy birthday, Bolo. And it's all good. The fish that I'm fascinated with, but I don't know if I could ever keep it, the cichlid, are the dovies. They're I've watched some of their breeding behavior. I saw Scott did a video not that long ago in king and queen cichlids on his Dovite. They're pretty fascinating fish, but you have to have huge aquariums. It's and they're likely to take a finger, and yeah, it's the Dovies. Uh, it's Melanchromis auratus is the most aggressive cichlid, inch for inch. It's Tenga peacocks, New England Endler. That's pretty nice too. Pretty nice all the way around. It trust me. I could when I buy this house, it's furniture for me for the new home is going to be fish tanks. I've got a couple of chairs. I've got like I've got a bed, I got a dresser. What else do I really need, right, gang? I need aquariums. I need them. I need them a lot. Yeah, angelfish in a planet tank. You're absolutely correct. And the deal is with angelfish is that the process of breeding them and going from there. But once they start breeding, they are they breed early and often, and you can have a ton of them. There's not a lot of call for angels. That's problematic. And as beautiful as they are, and you can put them in a community aquarium, they're cichlids, and they're going to behave like cichlids. It's just that's just sort of the way it is, the way of the world with them. But again, I'd love to do them. I believe me, when I'm on Aquabid, I'm going for there. What I have not joined, and I've joined so many clubs, is I've not joined. I joined the American Cichlid Association. I think that would be bad. I think that would tempt me to buy more large aquariums, and I have enough going on anyway. So it's just I have. I have been so busy the last few weeks. I have not done any of my I do freelance projects, on the side, and you have to put in proposals. You have to do stuff like that. I've been so busy. I haven't even done that. So, and that saltwater fish, Melvin. Yeah, you know what? The haps from Lake Malawi are also very, very cool. I was in a fish store in Las Vegas. I was out visiting Las Vegas. They had a couple of aquariums of haps. They're nice, pretty nice. It's and by the way, with the cichlid people, you're either an African or an American. I like them both. I like them both a whole bunch. It's the one thing I have to sort of learn how to do, or maybe I have to hire somebody from who knows what they're doing with it and pay them for a few hours. I've got to learn. I've got to set up when I get into the new thing. I have to drill. Uh, and I need to drill aquariums when I get a bunch more. And construction is not one of my skills, and it's just mainly because I don't have enough patience for it. It's the artistic look that how people do, and I can do screwdriver stuff. I can do general normal stuff around the house. But when it comes into construction, making it look nice, doing stuff like that, not my deal. So it's I'm either going to have to make a friend who's done a lot of that, who's not too far from me, or I'm going to have to hire somebody to drill up some aquariums in the new place and get that all set up. And sort of that's that's sort of the deal there. Update in the 29 aquarium. It's up and running. Um, it's I'll be ordering the plants off of eBay probably later tonight, and then a week from next week I'll order the Mica Splendens from Greg Sage, and then we'll get them up and running. And Michael of Michael's Fish Room, he went and visited a store that has a lot of plecos in it, and they were actually selling Amica Splendens. So, which is really really cool. The butterfly goodiad, and Amica Splendens are just an absolute gorgeous fish. So, Curious Fish, sort of what I want to do: help out the environment, keep something that can maybe someday be reintroduced into the wild, help propagate a species like that. It's all good. So it's all right. Yeah, there are a lot of how-to videos on YouTube. I'm just telling you, New England Endler, that that's I think I really have to get somebody in the ear and to help me out because I'll just it's just not good. All right, gang, that's it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for hanging out an hour and 11 minutes with me. I really appreciate having you around. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. And thank you for liking the live stream. And we'll see you tomorrow morning, 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific. New video comes out. All right. Thanks, crew. Really appreciate it.